traders, this is Day Trader Matt doing an Emini trading recap for the 26th of October, Friday. And today was a very fun day. We had a ton of trades today. We took 5 trades. We were 4-1 on the day, working inside of a maximum profit potential of 10 3/4 points. Actual entries and exits, we made 8 1/4 points or 33 ticks. So not too shabby for a Friday and for 2.5 hours. If you want to look at it, $50 a point, we'll say 8 points, $400 for 2.5 hours. So definitely not that bad. We see the market basically opened in line right here. Little chop, moved up a little bit, and then it just started selling off. Then around 10:50, 11, it did start to hold up a little bit better. And we closed the room back in here. Our first trade, we grabbed a short pretty close to the open. I was right in here, rode that down a little bit, taking profit, and then we watched, basically just watched price come up a little bit more and watched it come down, and then we got long over in this area here and rode it up a little, taking some profit on the way up. Then it kind of chopped around a little bit. Actually, we did take a short here and rode it down a little, and then price did come back up and chopped around a little bit. And then around this area, we grabbed another short, and we were able to ride that down a little bit, which was pretty good. Then we watched the markets move around a little bit, chopped around. Then we took an aggressive short over here, and price came down a little bit, never really came down to the level we wanted. Then it came back up, stopped us out, and then it rolled over again and basically just hung in here. And then after 12 o'clock, you did get a little bit more weakness right here. This candle you can barely see, 37.50 low at 12:05. And I showed that to basically show you that trading is not perfect, and I consider myself a good trader. I'm not perfect. Trades are going to be missed, and this last trade that I showed you, had your stop been a little bit bigger, it would have worked out pretty well. The way that I trade, I like to have my stops a little bit tighter, and every now and then I will move my stop if I think price action is going to still work out in my favor. Usually I don't. Usually I'll try to get out and then reestablish my position. Usually that's what I do. In this case, I was looking at it and I had a firm basis for my stop. And price came up, it did take me out, and then it rolled back over. And I didn't want to reestablish my position just because it was going into lunchtime on a Friday. If it's during the week, I would do that. But on a Friday, with a ton of news out, and we'll get to that, with a ton of news for next week, it's just something I didn't really want to do. If I were to make this trade again, would I have my stop in the same place? Of course I would. Hindsight's always 20/20, and it always gives us a different bias and a different thought. If I could do this over, I'd move my stop here. If I could do this over, I would trade like this rather than the way I traded before. And that's totally the wrong way you need to look at things. This is a business, and we decide where we want to do business at, and no one else can decide that except for us, unless we have someone else managing our account. But on the site, all the traders trade for themselves, and that's what it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be empowering traders through education. That's my slogan, and that's what I want to do. I love teaching others. I love being able to help them a little bit. And when I coach a trader, he's not that good, or he or she is not that good when they get to me. and then they're better traders after I help them a little bit. And I don't say that to make myself seem better. Oh, Matt's so cool, he helps people. No, that's definitely not what I'm trying to get at. Yeah, I teach some information and I teach some tactics and different stuff like that. And some people have their own system; they're just not good at it, and I help them with it and help them perfect it. And then others, they want to trade the style that I trade, and that's fine. I can help either way, and that's what my coaching program is supposed to be about. But really, the person who gets the most credit for becoming a successful trader isn't me. Yeah, I gave them tactics and stuff like that, but they're the ones that opened their mind to what I was teaching. They're the ones that implemented it. They're the ones that changed their mentality, and they're the ones that got it done, and they're successful. So, really, yeah, I was an instrument in the process, but they're the ones who get all the credit. And that's the way I look at things. That's the way that's the way, I want it to be. Because, I don't deserve the credit. Yeah, I'll help them a little bit, and if someone wants to say something nice about me, then that's awesome. It makes me feel good. But really, they're the ones that made it happen. And I don't know why I'm getting off on such a long tangent, but I just felt like I needed to talk about that. I got to get a lot of emails, a lot of past students I talked to, and the cool thing is, a lot of past students that I've had, I've become really good friends with them, and it's really awesome. I get to meet other people and become friends with other traders, and see how their trading has progressed since they first met me to to whenever, and it's just very, very awesome. Very gratifying experience. But anyway, definitely had a very, very good day, and I want to talk about the news for the coming week. We have a lot of it, and it should be very interesting. Monday morning, we have a ton of news. We have core PCE price index, personal spending, and personal income. Not looking for a huge bump in any of them. PCE looking for 0.1%, personal spending looking for 0.6, and personal income looking for 0.5%. Personal income prior reading was 0.1, so looking for a jump there. The other is basically in line. And then we have Japanese news. That'll be interesting because they've been talking a lot about their economy sucks. I'll put it like that. We're S&P traders. Most people don't really care. Anyway, Tuesday at 9 o'clock, the S&P Case-Shiller Housing Price Index, we're looking for 1.9% versus 1.2. And then the big number at 10 o'clock, Consumer Confidence, looking for 72.4 versus 70.3. And FOMC members speaking at 12:30. So we want to watch that. At Wednesday, actually Tuesday evening, we have Aussie building approvals. Well, that's interesting. Housing is a big part of our economy. It's a big part of most industrialized economies. Australia is one of the G8 nations. They're definitely an industrialized economy, and housing definitely makes up a backbone of every industrialized economy. So people are going to look to that. Is this growing? Is Australia growing? Because they are a growth engine. Australia, China, Brazil are growth engines of the world. Where the U.S. is the stability factor, but we're not the growth engine, and we haven't been for some time. And I'm not going to get political, but we're not doing great. Wednesday at 8:30 in the morning, we have employment cost index, looking for 0.5% versus the same as the prior. 9:30 we have FOMC members speaking, and 9:45 we have Chicago PMI, looking for 51.5 versus 49.7, and that number usually is released early to select few. At 10:30 we do have crude oil inventories. 5.9 million was the prior reading, and 12:25 another FOMC member is going to speak, and we have Chinese news at 9 o'clock, manufacturing PMI. That's going to be big, so everyone's going to watch that, and that will affect Thursday's trading. Thursday we do have French and Italian banking holidays, and then we have some big U.S. numbers. 7:30 we have Challenger job cuts. Looking negative 70.8 was the prior reading, and the bigger number 8:15 ADP non-farm employment change. We're looking for 139,000 versus 162. Unemployment claims looking for 371 versus 369. Also 8:30 preliminary non-farm productivity looking for 1.3 versus the prior of 2.2. Preliminary unit labor cost looking for 1.3 versus 1.5. 9 o'clock looking for final manufacturing PMI 51.5 is forecast versus prior of 51.3. 10 o'clock ISM manufacturing PMI looking for 51.2 versus 51.5. And less important numbers, we have also 10 o'clock construction spending 0.7%, pretty big jump as the prior reading. Also 10 o'clock ISM manufacturing prices looking for 56.2, little decline from 58 the prior reading. 10:30 we do have natural gas storage, 67 billion was the prior reading. All day it's going to come out total vehicle sales looking for 15 million, same as prior. And 12:30 FOMC Lockhart is going to speak. And Friday we have Canadian employment news, and 8:30 we have non-farm employment change, very very big, and also it's the last one before the election. We're looking for non-farm employment change 120 versus 114, and an unemployment rate looking for 7.9 versus 7.8. So that number will be interesting if they want to cook it a little bit or not. At 8:30 we have average hourly earnings looking for 0.2% versus 0.3, and 10 o'clock factory orders looking for 4.7% versus a negative 5.2 as the prior reading. So looking for a big jump in that number there. At 12:40 we have FOMC members speaking, 2:25 FOMC members speaking, and some Chinese news Friday night. So that's what we're looking for. It's going to be a big week, and should be an exciting one as well. So apologize the video is so long. I just felt like I needed to talk about a couple things, and I definitely wanted to go over the news for the coming week because it will be interesting and could possibly be a game changer. So anyway, with that, everyone have an awesome night, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.